everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me May or MG if you would like, and today I am starting my May Chaos Reign vlog. I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you know what May Chaos Reign is. If you don't, there will be some links down in the description to catch you up. But today is the 2nd. Right now, myself, Crystal, Violet, and Marta, the other Chaos Queens, we are having our kickoff stream because we couldn't yesterday, the 1st, even though the event started yesterday. Kicking it off today, and I thought I would start my vlog now and let you know what the plan is. The plan is that there is no plan. Chaos, you know? I don't really know what order I'm gonna do my prompts in. Of course, I'm doing the Sky Team prompts because I'm one of the queens of the Sky Kingdom. But I don't know what order I'm doing them in. I don't know what I'm gonna do for most of them, like that food or drink related to your work in progress one. No idea. We're doing that one later. What I do know is what I am going to be reading for the reading prompt, which is just a book with sky vibes. And for that, I will be picking up Before She Ignites by Jody Meadows. As you can see, there are 2 different moons on it. The fact that one moon is like blue and the other is yellow kind of bothers me, but like, it's fine. Moons are sky things, so sky vibes. I will be starting this today. Something interesting about it is I opened it up and it had like extra things in it. So it has a signed book plate and this little guide to all the dragons in it and a little note from the author. I didn't know this was in here. I guess I bought this book close to when it came out, which was 5 years ago. Probably should have read it before now, but I'm glad I didn't because it fits this prompt, so great timing. But yeah, I'm going to start that today, and I will update you as I keep reading and as I get to the other prompts whenever I figure out what I'm doing for them. Hello friends, it is 8 p.m. and this is extra bright because we finally replaced the light bulb that was burnt out for weeks. I figured I'd give you an update because I've reached page 101 in Before She Ignites, so I'm a little more than a fifth of the way through because there's, what, 480? Yeah, about 480 pages, so I'm a little more than a fifth, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not loving it, but it's okay. I really like the main character, mostly for the fact that it's surprisingly good autism rep, in my opinion. Obviously, people have different opinions, but at least, in my opinion, as an autistic person, I like this character. I didn't go into this expecting autism rep, but like, all of these like traits that she's been given, she just feels so autistic to me. The main character Mira, she's a princess and she's the hope bearer. So basically there's these 7 islands, although 2 of them are like intertwined, so there's 6. And the day she was born, her father, the king, signed a treaty with the other islands, and it's called the Mirror Treaty because she was born that day, and it's basically like just ushering in this new age of prosperity, and so that's why she's called the Hope Bearer and all this, and she's kind of like representative of this treaty, and she's really into dragons. So one of the things in the treaty is that dragons are now like sanctuary animals, so they're not hunted anymore, and they live in these, like, what's the word? I guess sanctuary is the word. There's a different word I'm thinking of, but I don't know what it is. But she really likes the dragons. I would call the dragons her special interest. She's, like, reciting facts about them to herself. Like, this isn't a spoiler because you find out on, like, the first chapter. She's in jail, and she's like, I need the qualities of this dragon to get through, and, like, I need to be like this, and I'm like, that's a very autistic thing to do, is to bring your special interest into a thing like this. She also is very obsessive about counting, so whenever she's walking, the heat went off, so now I feel like I'm really loud. She's like counting her steps and all the windows she passes and all the lights and everything, just to like keep her head on straight, I guess. There's one point where she was super duper overwhelmed, and so she climbs under her bed, and she needs that like physical presence completely around her and like mood. She's just really autistic to me, and I wasn't expecting it, and that's really cool. I'm not a big fan of the like timeline, kind of. So we have the regular chapters, but then we also have flashbacks, but they're not like worked into the story, they're like separated out from the chapters. So we'll have like 2 chapters and then a before chapter and then like another chapter and then a before, and it'll be like one of them would be from the day she was born and it's a flashback to the treaty, and then the next before will be like 9 days before she goes to jail, and the next one would be from 10 years prior. And like, first of all, I don't feel like all the information we've been given in these befores are necessary to be given to us in this way. Like, we don't need these full scenes. Also, I just feel like it's just so interruptive. Is that even a word? I don't know, it just messes with the flow of this, and I'm not a big fan. We also don't know what the inciting incident is, like the reason why she's in jail. And that's really bugging me. Like, you could have just started from like the 9 days ago before is her being like arrested, I guess. And like, you could have just started from before then, or you could have started then and then like explained it. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I feel like 101 pages in, I should know what's going on, like a fifth of the way through the book. It's just a really weird way to design the chapters and the story. So I'm not really a big fan of that, but we'll see. I'm going to keep going. I'm not hating this in the slightest, but it's just nothing spectacular to me, you know? So I will see you later. Hello, friends. I am in bed again because the bed is a comfy place to read. Today's the 3rd. It is like 9:45 in the morning, and I've been reading pretty much all morning. So now I am 300, well, is it exactly 300? No, 301 pages in. And I really think that this book would be better if it wasn't so choppy with the timeline. Like, it's a good book, like, I'm enjoying the story, but the, like, jumping back and forth just doesn't serve a purpose, as far as I can tell. Like, I feel like if we had started the story not with Mira arriving at jail, but like with the events that would eventually lead to her arrest and her going to jail, it would have made for a much smoother narrative, and then we could have still had flashbacks to the stuff that's before that. Like, I don't see why we're flashing back to the discoveries that she made and the choices that she made that led to her being in jail. Like, that should have been part of the regular timeline, and then the flashbacks could have been the other stuff. Although most of the other stuff, I don't see why we're flashing back, except for, like, I'm sorry if you can hear whatever yard work is going on outside. I don't know what's up with that. Like, it's mostly to show, like, her friendships that she had before and, like, her relationships with her parents and stuff. But if we had seen her interact with them in the actual timeline, which she would have if we started earlier, then we wouldn't have needed these flashbacks to get these characterizations and these, like, relationship moments, you know? Like, it just feels like a really weird choice to have made. But besides that, I am enjoying it. I feel like it's pretty middle, so like maybe 6, maybe like a 7. Like, it's not bad at all. It's just weird choices are being made. Yeah, so I have about, oh, hello, Chloe. Thank you for scratching the bed. There's a cat hair stuck in my book. I have about 180 pages left, so maybe I'll finish this later tonight. Who knows? If not, almost definitely tomorrow. So I will probably not update you again until I finish it, so see you then. Hello, friends. It is just about 8 p.m. on the 3rd, and I have finished reading Before She Ignites by Jody Meadows. And I actually put the signed book plate in. Oh goodness, I'm losing my bonus materials. I am going to, like, still think a little bit about what I want to give this, like, rating-wise. I'm thinking it's either 6 or 7. I'm not quite sure. It was good. It was fun. Very confusing in the beginning, like I said, because of that timeline stuff, which really stopped about, I'd say about little more than halfway through. Like, a little bit past the halfway mark, we were still getting those weird before things, but then the last, like, good chunk of it, we didn't have any. But I'm yeah, I'm not 100% sold on continuing the series. I think I'm gonna keep my copy for a little bit in case I do want to continue on with the series and end up liking the other two books a whole lot more and makes me want to keep the trilogy. I'm probably gonna unhaul it sometime in the future if not. The third book is on script, but the second one isn't, so that's that's fun. I love that for me. So I'll have to find the other one. Probably it might be on Book Outlet actually, or like thrifting maybe. I don't know. I don't remember where I got this. I do remember this is the book that I got at BJ's. I'm pretty sure. I was gonna say the dollar store, but I'm like I don't think I saw this at the dollar store. I just realized it's blurbed by Mary E. Pearson. I have read one of her books before. Anyway, I yeah, those are my thoughts. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm a little bit scatterbrained right now. I have kind of a headache, but it was okay. It was not terrible. I read some reviews and a lot of people did not like the main character, which is weird because I really liked her. The thing is, they were like listing all the reasons why they didn't like her, and it was just all of her traits that I think make her autistic, and I'm like, that feels not good. They're like, oh, it's so annoying how she counts everything, like, no one does that, or um, like her panic attacks and stuff, and there was quite a few people who were like, no one knows this much about any topic unless they have like an advanced degree in it. No 17-year-old would know so much about dragons when she doesn't like raise them or anything, and she wouldn't refer to them as their scientific name and stuff. And I'm like, have you never met an autistic person with a special interest? Like, come on. So, yeah, people didn't like her for her very autistic coded traits, and I'm like, that doesn't feel good because I know there are people who find me annoying because of my autistic traits, so it kind of sucks, but that's just the way of the world. I'm rambling. That's all I have to say about this. I want to tell you more of what's going to be going on in the rest of this vlog because there are 4 other prompts that I have to fill. So we have the making prompt, where I have to make a food or beverage related to one of my whips, my works in progress. No idea what I'm going to be doing for that one. I have to watch something that's not on a screen. No idea what I'm going to be doing for that one. I have to do an internet-free writing day, which would be easy enough, but I think I'm going to save that for the end of the month because I really want to keep this momentum going and finish drafting Love City, which I need the internet to do. Which I know Violet and I said that you don't need to like have a completely internet-free day if you need like Google Docs to draft. Obviously you use Google Docs, but like just don't use the rest of the internet while you're writing. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to not have any internet at all, so I'm going to be working on stuff that's not on Google Docs when I get to that, so probably the end of the month. And then I have my self-care prompt, which is to declutter something both physically and digitally, or digitally. It's either one. I'm going to be doing both. So I will be starting that tomorrow. So first up, I want to declutter my bookshelves because I'm moving in a month, and I know that I have quite a few books that I just don't feel the need to take with me. I also want to go through my white cubes that I have over here and like my artsy kind of supplies and get rid of some of that stuff, and my clothing I have to declutter. I have so many pieces of clothing that I haven't worn in years, so it's gotta go. And the digital declutter, I will probably just do a little bit throughout the month. I want to go through my emails that have been piling up, and also my bookmarks on my computer. They're very disorganized and there's so many that I just don't need, so that's the plan. The declutter is probably going to happen next. Not probably, it's going to happen next. So you will see at least the bookshelf portion of that happening tomorrow. So I will see you in the morning. Gremlin is very upset that I had to slide my chair out of the way to get to my bookshelves, but she'll get over it. Hello friends, good morning. It is the 4th, it is about 10:30 in the morning, and I'm going to start my decluttering of my shelves. So this is a very odd angle for me to be filming at, But basically, I'm just gonna go down the shelves. We're not gonna touch this one, like this bookcase, very much, because these top 4 shelves are actually my like favorite author shelves, except I do have a couple of books at the end of this one that are just there because I very recently got them and haven't figured out where exactly they're gonna fit for good on my shelf. Oh, Gremlin is going to jump up on my desk, I think. Okay, that's fine. But the bottom 2 shelves I might look at a little bit. Then this whole bookcase I want to take a look at and get rid of some books. So I think we're gonna start at the top of this bookcase. So up here on this top shelf, I don't think I'm gonna get rid of any of this stuff. This is the start of my completed series section, and I like all of these series, so I'm going to keep them. Easy. Over here, I'm not gonna unhaul these 2 series. Hello, Chloe. This is the Tunnels series and then the Grey Griffins, which I recently read. If you've seen that vlog I did not like, I would unhaul this series if I could, but these 2 series are my boyfriend's, and they just live on my shelf because he doesn't have room on his shelf out in the living room. But when we move, I'm making him put them on his shelf. I don't want them on mine. I have too many books as it is, and I could use the room. These books, okay, Roar. This is a book that I read last month, and I think I give it a 6 out of 10. I think I'm gonna keep it for now. Already not doing a great job at this unhaul. I think I'm gonna keep it for now because it's interesting enough that if I find the sequels for cheap, I'd probably get them, and I need this reminder that I'm going to hopefully continue on with the series. Some series I feel like I need that reminder, and others I don't. So we're gonna keep this for now, so I can keep my knickknacks from getting in the way. This is one where I feel like I don't need to keep the book to remember. So this is Elizabeth Webster and the Court of Uncommon Pleas. I read this in August or September of last year, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. It is about a girl who becomes a ghost lawyer, basically. She finds out she's descended from this long line of ghost lawyers, and I really enjoyed it, and I do want to read the other 2 in the series, but I also feel like my cousins would really enjoy this. I have 3 young cousins, and the oldest one is 10, and so he's getting into middle grade books, and I have a couple of middle grade books that I think he would enjoy, and this is one that I would want to give to him, and then his brothers can read it when they get old enough. So, first book of the unhaul. Woo! Now let's get back to looking at this stack. So, Dragon Slippers I'm keeping. I think Hazelwood. This is a book. Now Chloe's getting onto the desk, okay. This is a book that I've kept mostly because it's a gorgeous cover. Like, this is absolutely stunning. This is, I think, the Fairy Loot edition? No, Owl Crate. I got this from the thrift store that I used to work at, and it's just beautiful, but I didn't love it. I thought it was okay, and then I read the sequel, and I really didn't like the sequel, so I'm never gonna buy it. And I've just been keeping this because it's gorgeous, but I don't think that's a good enough reason anymore. So someone else is gonna get this absolutely stunning book. I think I'm gonna let my friends, so a couple of books are going to my cousins. The rest of the books I'm gonna let my friends look at first to see if they want any of them, and anything that they don't want is going to end up in free little libraries in my area. So unhauling Hazelwood. So I think I'm gonna keep the rest of this stack. They're all books that I enjoyed and want to continue on with the rest of the series, and I want to keep the first books because I feel like I'm going to enjoy the rest of the series enough to want the whole set on my shelves. Moving down here, hello Chloe. We have several books that I already know I want to get rid of, so let's just go through them. We have first, ooh, these are really packed in there. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I've talked about this book extensively on this channel. This is a book that got me out of a years-long reading slump, but I finally finished the whole trilogy this past summer, and this one I just think is okay. The other 2 books I really did not like at all. I kind of hated them, and so I'm never gonna buy them, and this isn't good enough for me to warrant keeping it forever, even though I am grateful for it, for getting me out of a reading slump, because it was exactly what I needed at the time. But now, knowing my reading tastes, I don't think I'm ever going to reread this, so it's getting unhauled. Then we have Blood Like Magic by Lizelle Sambury, which I'm sad to be getting rid of because Lizelle is a fellow author tuber. She's a friend of a friend, and I really, really wanted to enjoy this. This was her debut book that came out 2 years ago, but it wasn't bad. I didn't dislike this book, I just didn't like it. It was very middle of the road for me and my tastes, and I never picked up the sequel. I don't think I ever will. So it's time for this to find a different home. I do really think my friend Tiara would really like this, so I'm gonna see if she wants it. Then, continuing on with picking up books that are right next to each other, we have The Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. This is a book that I picked up last month and I DNF'd it. This is one that I will be giving to my cousins. And then right next to that, we have, ooh, things are tipping. The Crow Rider by Kaylin Josephson. This is the sequel to The Storm Crow, which I don't know why I have the second book in a duology and not the first one. The first one I think is on Scribd, but I've had Scribd for over a year and I've owned this book for over a year, and I've never made the effort to actually read the first book in order to then read the second one. So I'm just going to admit that I'm never going to do it. So this is an unhaul for me. Okay, so moving down, we have these I'm going to shift over. Zodiac I'm going to keep because I do want to continue on the series. Smoke Thieves I haven't read yet. Before She Ignites is the book that I just finished, and I'm going to keep it. The second book isn't on Scribd, but if I can find it cheap, I will definitely want to read it, and then the third book is on Scribd. And then we have several more books, I think. Let's take this one out. We have Edgeland by Jake Halpern and Peter Kujawinski. This is another middle grade book that I liked. It's like a companion to a couple of other books, but I don't think I'm ever going to read those, and so this is going to be going to my cousins. If you hear a commotion in the background, I apologize. Chloe is currently wrestling the ottoman that sits at the foot of my bed, and Gremlin is going to investigate, so they're just off doing their own thing and we're gonna let them be. So then we have some more books that I'm going to keep, just first books in series that I want to continue on with. Although, this book was supposed to get a sequel, and then instead the author released a, companion, I think? Or maybe not even a companion, just a completely separate book, but it's also dark academia. So I don't know if this is ever going to get a sequel like it was originally planned, so I might move this to be with my standalones when I reorganize my books in a new place, but I am keeping it. This is a very good dark academia with several different types of Asian American representation, if that's the kind of thing that you're into. It is How We Fall Apart by Katie Sau, so would recommend keeping it. I'm keeping these books. This is getting dangerous. I feel like it's gonna fall. I'm gonna keep Shadow of the Fox, but at the bottom of this stack, we have Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I'm gonna get a little bit closer. This is the first book in a duology, and I have read this, and I did enjoy it. I'm not really interested in the sequel, though, and apparently it's also like a companion to a trilogy she wrote, or like a sequel to a trilogy she wrote, and I've never read those 3 books, so I don't know. This is another book that has a stunning cover, and that's part of why I was going to keep it. But this is desert fantasy, and I'm not the hugest fan of desert fantasy, so this is going to be unhauled. So now I guess I can put these back. I'm not going to put them in any order, but I don't want them to fall. Then, moving on, we have the Graceling series, which I'm obviously keeping. Some other books that I either have read and am interested in or have not yet read. We have The Graces by Laura Eve, which I'm probably going to unhaul one day, but I don't think today is that day. Look at this gorgeous cover. This one, the sequel, is on Scribd, so I will probably pick that up eventually. I want to do a vlog where I read both books back to back. Chloe's on the back of my chair right now, and it's kind of making me nervous. Anyway, I'm going to keep this, but if I'm not a big fan of the sequel, I'm probably going to unhaul this at a later date. Okay, I moved the camera down a bit so that you could see this next shelf better. This gap right here is where Prior of the Orange Tree goes. It's currently over at my nightstand because it's on my TBR for the month, so I will be reading it very, very soon. So I have this book I'm conflicted on. I'm kind of not interested in it anymore. I got it at the dollar store. It's a beautiful cover. I am a sucker for a beautiful cover. I don't even remember like what it's about. Oh, it's historical fiction. Interesting. It might be historical fantasy. I don't know. I'm gonna put this in the unhaul pile for now, but when I go to like actually pack these away to like get rid of them, I'm gonna probably read the first chapter of it and see if I like it. It has deckled edges. I hate deckled edges with every fiber of my being, so that's another reason why I kind of don't want this on my shelf anymore. So we're gonna put it on the unhaul, but it might end up back on my shelves. We'll see. And we have more books that I really, really like, or am very interested in reading. Then we have these two books. I think I'm going to unhaul The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon and Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Oh, you can't even see me. These are very nostalgic books for me, but they're not really my taste now, and I'd rather clear up space for books that I absolutely adore rather than having ones that I just think are okay. This one was a gift several years ago, so I feel a little bit bad about unhauling it. This one I actually saw the stage play of several years ago at this point, and I think the play was a lot better than the book when I finally did read the book. So these two get to go on the unhaul pile, which is stacked so high that now it's out of frame, so I feel accomplished. Alright, and we continue on. I don't know what my cats are doing, they're going crazy. But we have some more books. Inferno, I'm going to hold on to. I don't know what she just pulled down off that shelf, it's fine. Inferno, I'm going to hold on to for a little bit longer, but I might not keep it. We have Planet X by, who is this by? Michael Jan Friedman. This is a Star Trek X-Men crossover that I read, and it was fun, but like, I kind of just kept it for the novelty of it. But I am not, like, I love Star Trek and I love X-Men, but I'm not like super into the fandom of it that I feel like I need to keep this, you know? So it's going on the pile. As for the rest of the stuff on this shelf, I think, yeah, I think the rest of it can stay. So I'm sitting on my little step stool that I have that helps me reach the top shelves of my bookcase because I am short, but it's the easiest way to get down here without ruining my knees. So let's see, I don't know if I'm going to get rid of anything on the shelf. Ooh, that's a lie. We have The Legend of Sigurd and Gudrun by J.R.R. Tolkien, edited by Christopher Tolkien. I am very low in this frame. Wow. I am never going to read this. I adore Lord of the Rings. I adore The Hobbit. I'm not super interested in the like extended universe stuff like all of the other things. I do one day want to buy and read the Silmarillion, but outside of the Silmarillion, I'm not particularly interested in reading the rest of Tolkien's Middle Earth stuff. So this one is going to go. So then looking on, we have Beauty Queen Bit of a Bray, which I think is hilarious. I love this book. Permanent Record I haven't read yet. Delicious Monsters I love. Night Vale, some other stuff. We move in from my standalones. This back corner here is my anthologies, and I think this book is just a collection of microfiction. It is edited and introduced by Jerome Stern, and this is a book that I bought secondhand and I was going to give to one of my professors when I graduated, but I graduated in 2020, and so I didn't get a graduation. We were kicked off campus a couple of months before the end, and so I have not seen this professor in years, and so I've just been holding on to this, and I don't need to, because I didn't even buy this for myself, and I'm never going to be able to give it to the person I wanted to give it to. So it's going. Okay, I have pulled 3 books off of the bottom shelf. The bottom shelf is my miscellaneous shelf, kind of. It's got like writing craft books, nonfiction, stuff like that. And these 3 books are part of like a special collection, I guess, that I have that I don't really feel the need to keep. So I have this book, which doesn't have the title on the cover, just has this gorgeous art of Luke Skywalker. This is A New Hope, The Life of Luke Skywalker by... Oh, does this not have the author? This doesn't have an author, apparently. If I have this, I have Verily A New Hope by Ian Doescher, which is Star Wars in the style of Shakespeare. And then I have The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy, which is by Alexandra Bracken, and this is another retelling of A New Hope. A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie, and so I was collecting novelizations of it, but I am kind of like with Star Trek and X-Men. I love them, but I'm not really into the fandom part of it anymore, and I just don't feel the need to collect these. Especially these two. These two are like, this book was okay, it wasn't great. This one's more of like a novelty book, and this one I would really only keep for the cover. But I don't feel the need to keep these on my shelves anymore, so they're gonna go. Okay, so like I said, we're not touching these top 4 shelves on this bookcase, and then the bottom 2 shelves I just looked at, and I don't think I'm gonna get rid of anything from them. They are my Dover Thrift Editions, my plays, classics, poetry, manga, and comics, and I want to keep all of them. So I guess that's the end of this unhaul. Let me clean up this mess, and I will come back to you to give you the final tally of how many books I've decided to unhaul or declutter if we want to use the wording that is on the prompt. So, okay, I am like sweating now. I had to turn the ceiling fan on and everything, but I have some statistics about my unhaul for you guys. So I have picked 17 books to unhaul, and of those, 3 are going to my cousins. The rest I'm gonna let my friends pick over and then donate the ones they don't want. I have only not read 3 of them, so the Library of Legends, The Crow Rider, and The Legend of Sigurd and Gudrun. I've read all the other ones, so overall, Chloe is approaching me. She really enjoyed the fact that I now have half an empty shelf down at the bottom there, so she was laying there for a second. Yeah, overall, I think this was a very easy process, a lot easier than I thought it would be. So, not today, but at some point this month, I will be going through my crafting supplies and probably getting rid of quite a bit. Chloe, do not put your claws in me. You know you have knives attached to your feet and they hurt me. And I also want to go through my clothing. So, stay tuned for that at some point in this vlog, probably, assuming I vlog it. But I'm gonna get a nice cold drink and relax now. Hello friends. It's been a hot minute since I've updated you. Today's the 9th, and I have finished decluttering my physical space. So I didn't do any of it on camera like I did my books, but I'm going to show you all the things that I'm getting rid of. So first up we have the stack of stuff down here. Oh, hello Chloe. Chloe's not getting donated, but not the pink basket and the like electronic stuff in it, but like the stuff on top. And then the brown box and all the stuff stacked on it is all going. I just need to get another box to put that stuff in. And then over here we have all of my clothes, which is a lot more than I thought I'd be getting rid of. There are 23 items here, and there's like shirts and sweaters and pajamas, skirts, a couple of like sweaters, and a dress, just a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff that I have not worn in, honestly, years. So it's about high time they get going. Hello friends. It has been a hot minute since I've updated this vlog. Today's the 18th. I honestly don't remember the last time I did something for May Chaos Reign. Yeah, my me. Today I'm here to finally fulfill another prompt, and the prompt that I'll be fulfilling is my internet-free writing day. I should be editing my novel, which I started doing yesterday, but I don't want to. So instead, I'm going to have my internet-free writing day. And I'm kind of like not doing what you would expect, so I'm not like brainstorming or drafting or anything, sans internet. What I will be doing is going through this. This is The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. It is a D&D adventure module, I think is the word. I've had this for a little while now. I got it not this most recent Christmas, but the Christmas before, and I've just been dying to play it. And I'm currently in a D&D campaign. It is set in the world of Percy Jackson, except it takes place in the 1980s, and I've been having so much fun in that. But the DM has let us know that we are nearing the end of its run. There's probably only like 2 to 4 sessions left. And so I'm like, perfect. I want to run the next one. Our other friend also wants to run a campaign, so it'll be either me or him. We'll figure it out. But I figured if I'm possibly going to be DMing a campaign soon, I should probably figure it out. And so I want to run The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So I will be going through this book, which is pretty thick for what it is. And there's a map in the back. I didn't know that. That's pretty fun. It's like 250-ish pages, which I'm not going to be reading the whole thing today. But from what I know, this is a very low combat or even no combat module, but my friends and I enjoy combat. So my plan is to familiarize myself with this and find ways to put combat into the module just a little bit. Oh, excuse me, I have the hiccups there. Yes. I know there are like people who have done this online I've seen say like yeah, there are quite a few places where it's very easy to slip in a few encounters. So I'm not expecting it to be a big challenge, but that is my writing for the day. We'll just be going through this, and I'm going to get one of my notebooks and take notes on the campaign as I go through, just things that I want to keep in mind as I'm potentially DMing this. And yeah. So it's not like a traditional writing day, but I am counting it, so I'm gonna get on that now. Hello, friends. It is about 9 a.m. on May 30th, and I'm here to close out this vlog. I know that tomorrow is still May, but I know I'm not going to get that last prompt in tomorrow. This week is just so crazy. As you saw from my recent footage, I checked off the watch something and not on a screen prompt by watching a parade. It was Memorial Day yesterday, and so I went up to visit my parents, as I do every year, because the parade goes right past their house, and they have a big barbecue and everything. Such a fun time. I really enjoyed seeing my relatives and my best friend, who I really only see like twice a year. It was just a fun time. I did start getting sick because it was so hot out, and hot weather and I just do not mix. I always get so sick, but it's fine. I'm feeling much better now. And yeah, that's about all I have to say on that. So as you know, I didn't finish all of the My Chaos Reign prompts. I did not make a food or drink based on my work in progress. I just never really had any good ideas for it, and I just didn't have the time. This month has been crazy, this week especially. So, like I said, I visited my parents yesterday. I'm moving in a couple of days, so I've been packing for the past who knows how long. All of my stuff is in boxes. I just have had no time for anything. So, it kind of sucks, but also 4 out of 5? I don't think that's bad. And I don't need to claim my knighthood because I'm already a queen, so it's fine. It's fine. But on that note, that is all that I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.